Imagine this. Fragments of an ancient biblical manuscript have been discovered for the first time in over 60 years. But we're not talking about just any manuscript. These texts reveal hidden secrets about the story of Adam and Eve, a narrative deeply rooted in our culture, but now potentially far more unsettling than we ever imagined. What really happened in the Garden of Eden? What hidden truths could transform everything we think we know about the creation of humanity? Get ready for a journey filled with mysteries and revelations. In the next few minutes, you will uncover secrets hidden for millennia, from the expulsion of Adam and Eve to the events that shaped the destiny of all humankind. This is an account that promises to change your perspective on Genesis and the story we thought we knew so well. Let's delve together into the depths of this mystery. After thousands of years of being told and retold, the story of Adam and Eve seems to be one of humanity's oldest pillars. But what do we really know about it? The newly discovered fragments raise a fascinating question. What lies hidden beyond what we already know? Could this narrative be just a fraction of a much larger and more disturbing truth? Picture this. In the heart of the Egyptian desert, among untouched sands and ancient tombs, archaeologists unearthed an enigmatic text known as the Book of Adam and Eve. A manuscript so ancient that it dates back to the early days of Christianity, perhaps even earlier. What makes it so special? It recounts the events that took place after Adam and Eve were expelled from the Garden of Eden, revealing shocking details about their lives, their struggles, and even secrets that could reshape our understanding of good, evil, and humanity. According to scholars, this text was preserved orally for centuries before finally being recorded. But why was it excluded from the Holy Bible? What truths might it contain that were deemed too dangerous to include in the official texts? Among the most intriguing mysteries, the text mentions the existence of twin sisters of Cain and Abel, something completely omitted in traditional narratives. One of these sisters, named Luluwa, was the cause of a deadly conflict between the two brothers, culminating in the first murder in human history. Have you ever imagined what it would be like to live in a world where the first humans faced temptations, jealousy, and tragedies so similar to our own? And there's more. These manuscripts speak of a strange and desolate land where Adam and Eve were forced to live after their expulsion. Imagine leaving a lush paradise full of beauty and harmony for a dark and cold cave. Grief and despair consumed them, but what truly stands out is the resilience they demonstrated in the face of so many adversities. Now, something even more fascinating. The text describes how Satan, determined to destroy Adam and Eve, tried to deceive them in every possible way. On one occasion, he transformed into a beautiful young woman surrounded by charming creatures to lure them back into sin. But why so many traps? What was at stake in this contest between the Creator and Satan? These new fragments also provide astonishing information about the Garden of Eden. It wasn't just a paradisiacal place. According to the texts, it possessed an aura so powerful that the very scent of its trees could bring comfort and even erase the memory of Adam and Eve's sin. The Creator, however, prevented this from happening, ensuring that the couple could no longer approach Eden. But why are we only hearing about this now? Why did the Book of Adam and Eve remain lost for so long? Many believe it was deliberately set aside due to its controversial nature, which challenged some of the most common interpretations of the Scriptures. It invites us to reflect on human fragility, the power of forgiveness, and the constant challenges of our spiritual journey. Every page of these manuscripts raises new questions. Were Cain and Abel truly so different? And what led their descendants to stray from divine favor and become fallen angels, as the texts mention? The narrative makes us question the impact of human decisions and how they shape the destiny of humanity. Prepare yourself, because what comes next is even more surprising. We will delve into the details of the temptations faced by Adam and Eve, the role of their sons' twin sisters, and the mysterious connections between these events and the biblical patriarchs who emerged before the Great Flood. The Book of Adam and Eve also reveals details about the constant struggle against Satan's temptations. After being expelled from Eden, Adam and Eve faced challenges that tested not only their faith, but also their emotional resilience. One of the manuscript's most intriguing accounts describes how Satan tried to convince them that the Creator was untrustworthy. He manipulated their emotions, attempting to plant doubts about divine intentions. And the question arises, what distinguishes us from the choices they faced? According to the text, Adam and Eve were led to dwell in a cave called the Cave of Treasures, located beneath the Garden of Eden. But living there was far from simple. The place, described as dark and solitary, was a constant reminder of everything they had lost. The transformation from paradise to this austere environment forced them to reflect on the consequences of their actions. It is a powerful metaphor for human struggles. How many times have we felt exiled from a paradise that once seemed within our reach? Meanwhile, Satan did not relent. In another account, he attempted to deceive Adam and Eve by appearing as a celestial being. The narrative states that he assumed dazzling forms surrounded by radiant light to resemble a divine messenger. His intention was simple: to destroy Adam and Eve's trust in God, driving them to despair. However, the Creator protected them, intervening whenever the danger grew too great. But perhaps one of the manuscript's most surprising aspects is the role played by the descendants of Adam and Eve. The text presents a lineage marked by tragedies, difficult choices, and eventually, a collective fall. According to the manuscripts, the descendants of Seth, one of Adam's sons, lived on Mount Hermon, a sacred place where they remained close to the Creator. But seduced by the daughters of Cain, they abandoned the mountain, thereby losing their divine favor. These stories offer profound reflections on how human choices can shape history. The Sethites, known as the sons of God, succumbed to temptations, and by descending from the sacred mountain, became analogous to the fallen angels mentioned in other scriptures. This transformation highlights a universal theme: the constant struggle between good and evil, between maintaining faith and succumbing to temptation. Furthermore, the text mentions that Cain was the first to invent weapons and musical instruments, a duality symbolizing both creativity and destruction. He is described as someone with a hardened heart who, even in the womb, showed signs of aversion. On the other hand, Abel, his younger brother, is portrayed as a kind and obedient young man whose tragic death marks the first great conflict in human history. The Book of Adam and Eve also highlights how humanity began to lose its connection with the Creator, something that culminated in the events preceding the Great Flood. Moral corruption and violence spread rapidly among the descendants of Cain, plunging the world into chaos. It serves as a timeless warning about the dangers of straying from ethical and spiritual principles. But not everything is darkness. The text also brings moments of hope and redemption. Adam and Eve, despite their failings, are presented as symbols of perseverance. They prayed incessantly, seeking guidance and forgiveness from the Creator. Even amid pain and repentance, they found ways to move forward, showing that the pursuit of redemption is a constant journey. Have you ever wondered why so many of these stories seem to resonate so deeply in our own lives? Perhaps it's because in many ways they reflect the universal struggles we all face: temptation, loss, repentance, and the desire to start anew. In the next moments, we'll explore the connections between the events narrated in this manuscript and other biblical texts, such as the Book of Enoch and Genesis. These interwoven stories form a rich and complex tapestry that helps us better understand not only the past, but also our own journey as human beings. When Adam and Eve were expelled from Eden, they not only lost the physical paradise, but also faced profound changes in their own bodies and spirit. According to the Book of Adam and Eve, they underwent visible physical transformations, such as aging and the need for sustenance, something they had never experienced in Eden. These changes brought not only suffering, but also a painful understanding of mortality and human frailty. One of the text's most impactful passages is the account of how the Creator instructed them to live in the Cave of Treasures. The cave is described as an arid and somber place, a clear metaphor for the loss of comfort and closeness to God. Yet it is in this cave that Adam and Eve begin to develop a new connection with the Creator, one rooted in faith, obedience, and repentance. While facing these adversities, Satan continued his relentless campaign against them. In one of the manuscript's most intriguing accounts, he appears disguised as a cherub, offering fruits from the Garden of Eden to deceive them. However, Adam and Eve, warned by their previous experience, refused the offer, demonstrating that they were learning from their mistakes. This passage highlights the importance of spiritual resistance and the constant pursuit of righteousness, even amid challenges. The text delves even deeper into the generations that followed Adam and Eve. The descendants of Seth, for instance, are depicted as a sacred people living in harmony on Mount Hermon. But their downfall was marked by a fatal attraction to the daughters of Cain, who dwelled in the valleys below. Seduced, they abandoned the mountain and mingled with Cain's descendants, thereby losing their divine favor. This narrative not only describes a moral fall, but also illustrates how seemingly small choices can have devastating consequences. Corruption spread, leading to a world dominated by violence and decadence, which, according to the texts, culminated in the divine decision to send the Great Flood. The manuscript connects the events of the first human generations to the story of Noah's flood, emphasizing how corruption and a departure from the Creator led to the destruction of nearly all humanity. However, the text also offers a thread of hope. Noah, a descendant of Seth, is described as a righteous man who maintained his faith even in a corrupted world. He becomes a symbol of redemption and of the divine commitment to offer humanity a second chance. The Book of Adam and Eve invites us to reflect on universal themes such as temptation, redemption, and the quest to reconnect with the divine. Its stories, though ancient, are deeply relevant to our modern lives. After all, how many times do we face our own exiles from Eden? How often do we seek answers for our downfalls and try to find a path back to grace? This text, even though it is not included in the biblical canon, is a treasure trove of spiritual wisdom and a window into understanding the roots of many of humanity's beliefs and practices. If you've made it this far, know that this was not just a journey into the past, but also a reflection on our own existence. The stories of Adam and Eve are not just about what happened, but about what continues to happen within each of us. The choices we make, the temptations we face, and the search for meaning amid challenges. Now, before we conclude, I'd like to invite you to leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the upcoming content that brings fascinating mysteries and profound reflections. And don't leave yet. There's another video right here on the screen that you'll love to watch. Click now and continue exploring these incredible themes. Thank you so much for watching Illuminated Minutes. May God bless you, and I'll see you in the next video. See you soon.